Could you give us a little sneak peek about exactly what it is that, the movies?
Absolutely, absolutely. So the title is elusive. When you hear the White House is fake, I get a lot of people kind of grumbling and mumbling. I know it. Religion and politics is a very dividing point between friends, right? So it's not based on any particular person. It's not based on really anything. What I'm doing is I'm tying my fiction around an idea. So you might remember this, the listeners might remember this, but in 1957, Dwight Eisenhower, who was president at the time, he was a general before he became president, but they put an act together called the National Interstate Highway Act. And that time, they originally thought this could be for the military, but they changed it for civilians to build the interstate highway system. So what I'm doing is I'm tying my fiction around that, where I say, yeah, all right, we're going to be building all these highways. It's going to take, many, many, many years, many miles all across the United States. But at the same time, this is where the fiction comes out, is we're going to build an underground infrastructure, secret tunnels that the government will use. So that's kind of basically what it's about, is that in 1957, not only did Dwight Eisenhower do the National Federal Highway Act, which is real, what my fiction is that he invoked the Presidential Protection Act. And what that is basically part of what that is protecting the president. The real president, he's fake. There's a fake U.S. president, but he's real. I know it sounds confusing, but we'll get into what that is. It's basically about puppets. Politicians are puppets. And the person you vote for, well, he's really not the real leader. And that's what the Presidential Protection Act is. And what happens is in Alexandria, Virginia, this is where the setting of the film takes place. Nelson Conrad goes fishing. He sees a DOT truck parked on the side of the road. The guy's on his walkie-talkie. He's whirling his finger. Moments later, Nelson Conrad decides to double back. He hides in the brush. He looks down. He sees secret men coming out of a highway tunnel. They have a secret meeting. A limo pulls up. Then he sees the real U.S. president out in the middle of the open having a secret meeting under the highway. How intriguing is that? And that's kind of what basically how Nelson gets in trouble with the U.S. government, because he saw something he's not supposed to see. And that this is really where it begins. And that's really what the White House is fake is about.
A lot of people, history buffs, might be listening. They're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So from 1957 to about 1993, it took them 37 years to build a highway at full capacity. What I'm talking about is all over the United States for the public to travel. Now, I'm tying my fiction around that. I said, well, wait a minute. If I'm building infrastructure that's going to take something 37 years to complete, why not build secret tunnels at the same time under the highway system